So, good morning again. Today in our session we are going to move into the next exercise or next question in our books, page 58, which is about the oxygen probe or the measurement of oxygen. Measurement of the amount or quantity of oxygen. So, the setups below are realized to highlight the gaseous exchanges which take place during the respiration of radishes. In this experiment, I will repeat the experiment again. Okay, so in this experiment, I have here an oxygen probe. Oxygen probe means an instrument used to measure the amount of oxygen or to find the amount of oxygen. And I have set 1 and set 2 or step 1 and step 2. In these setups, in set 1 I have a radish which is the green plant, and in set 2 I have no green plant. There is no green plant in step 2. But in both we can find clear lime water in both. The amount or quantity of oxygen is the same in both steps. In both steps, the amount or quantity of oxygen is also the same, which is 21%. After 30 minutes, after half an hour, look at step 1. How does the amount of oxygen become? Yes, it decreases to reach 18%, and the clear lime water will become turbid. While in step 2, let's move to step 2. While in step 2, the clear lime water is still clear, wait Hadi, and the amount of oxygen is still the same. Who can give me a conclusion about what is happening now? What is taking place in this experiment? Okay, Hadi, you can start now.
The lime water turned into turbid lime water because the green plant absorbs oxygen and the lime water doesn't. So that's why it turns turbid.
Excellent, because, thank you Hadi, because of the breathing that takes place in step 1. Thank you. Elia, what is your opinion, please, teacher?
Plant.
Yes?
We put with it clear lime water.
Yes?
And after
30 minutes? Yes?
lime water turbid.
Excellent, Elia. Thank you, Habibi. Muhammad Haidar, what is your opinion, teacher? What is your answer?
Radish plant is absent in step 2.
Okay, excellent, excellent, Hamoudi. Thank you, teacher. So I will repeat again. I have 2 steps. Step 1 and step 2. In both steps, we have clear lime water, and the amount of oxygen was 21% in both. But what is different in both steps, that the presence or absence of the radish plant or the green plant in both containers. So let's move now to number 1 or part A. Indicate the variable factor. Please, Muhammad Haidar, can you repeat again what is the variable factor here? What is different between step 1 and step 2?
Radish plant is absent in step 2.
Excellent,
But
Muhammad.
in step 1,
Excellent, Hamoudi. Excellent, Habibi. So, the radish plant is present in step 1 and absent in step 2. Okay, teacher, let's write the answer now. So, the answer is as follows. The radish plant is present in 1 or step 1 and absent in step 2. When you finish, we have to move to part B. In part B, we have to find or specify. It means in order to answer and justify our answer, the control setup. The control setup, which means the setup that didn't take any change. Didn't take any change. So which one is the control setup? Okay, Hamza, can you specify the control setup?
Yes. Set to
Why?
is
Is the control setup. Why Hamza step 2?
because change.
Because nothing is changed. Excellent, Hamza. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher. So, step 2 because it doesn't contain or doesn't have the variable factor. Excellent, student. Let's continue. So, step 2 is the control setup because it doesn't contain the variable factor, which means doesn't contain the radish plant because it is present in step 1 and absent in step 2. Now, when we finish, we have to move to part C. Part C tells you to name the reagent. Reagent means the element or factor used to show the presence of carbon dioxide. How do you know that carbon dioxide is found? How do you know that carbon dioxide is found? Okay, Jude, please, can you answer?
Yes. Miss, when we look to set 1, after 30 minutes, the oxygen decreased and the water changed.
Excellent. How was the water at the beginning? How was the water?
Line water.
Excellent. How does it become?
Turbid line water.
Excellent. It becomes turbid lime water. So, from this note or from this clarification, we can say that green plants release carbon dioxide. Thank you a lot, Jude. Okay, Abbas. Why again, Abbas? The quantity or amount of oxygen and the lime water didn't change their aspects. Why? There is no change here.
Because in the box, no green plant.
Excellent, Abbas. So no green plant is introduced in the step 2. Thank you, Abbas. Thanks a lot. Now, in part D, we have to compare the amount or quantity of oxygen in setup 1 at the beginning and at the end of the experiment. Can you, Leah?
Yes, the amount of oxygen in the beginning is 21 and 18. And in the 18.
Excellent, Leah Habibti. So the amount or quantity of oxygen was 21 at the beginning of the experiment, which is greater or smaller. Who can tell me that? Ahmad Marji, can you tell me if this amount is greater or smaller than step 2? 21 greater or smaller than 18? Okay, thanks Ahmad. Thanks a lot, teacher. You can mute yourself again, please. So, let's write the answer now. So, the answer is as follows. The amount of oxygen at the beginning of the experiment was 21%, which is greater than that at the end of the experiment, which is also 18. The amount of oxygen so decreases in setup 1 or step 1 because of the respiration process that takes place in step 1 in the presence of the green plant, which is a radish plant, a living thing. While in step 2, no change takes place because there is no living thing or no green plant in the oxygen probe or in the container. Okay, Jamil, please, can you repeat? What do living things breathe? What do they absorb?
The living thing breathes oxygen.
Yes, when they breathe oxygen, what can they release?
Carbon dioxide.
Excellent, teacher. Thank you. Okay, teacher, this is all about our session today. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everything. Goodbye.